everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to my model railroad room for another video from my USA adventure. Now, whilst I was in the States, I was lucky enough to see some really great layouts, and I also had the opportunity, and for some reason was the guest of honour, at an operating session on my good friend Andy Blenco's layout, which is set on the Pittsburgh main line. I'm wearing my official crew t-shirt here, but it's set on the Pittsburgh main line during the 1970s and 80s, as run by Conrail, but we'll do a little bit more about that later. During my stay in Pittsburgh, Andy took me to meet two guys with two very different layouts. The first person I met was Neil Shaw. He has a 3-rail O-scale layout, again based on the Pittsburgh main line, but his is very much runs what he wants on it, though everything that he runs on it kind of runs in that area. I also met, and apologies if I pronounced this wrong, Dennis Coglianese. He's a New Yorker that seems to have defected to Pittsburgh, and not only is he the local head of the NMRA, but he models an HO scale layout set somewhere in the western part of the USA, kind of in Southern Pacific territory. Though his layout, and I'm assuming it is a fictional railroad, kind of based on the Central Pacific, is called the Pacific Central. However, before I begin, I would like to give a shout out to two really understanding guys in New York. So they are Norman Nemec and Dave Barraza. Now, I had arranged previously to meet with them on my last day in New York. Norman was going to take me around his part of Queens, show me the sights, take me out for lunch, and then later that day I was going to catch the train up to Ronkonkoma on Long Island and see Dave's, I'd love to have seen it, Dave's Long Island Railroad layout, but he'd also arranged for me to visit layouts from another couple of people. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling great on my last day. I think everything had caught up with me, so I did have to cancel on the guys. Norman, Dave, if you're watching, again, I am so sorry that I wasn't able to meet up with you. I would have loved to have spent some time and chatted with you. Thank you so much for all the arrangements you made. And again, thank you so much for being so understanding. Unfortunately, sometimes my health just means that I need to take it easy occasionally. That last day was very, very slow. I did a little trip down to Coney Island and had a hot dog, then had a rest in my hotel, and then went to Brooklyn Bridge Park and had an ice cream. At least my appetite was okay, even if I was feeling a little bit exhausted by that point. But hopefully, fingers crossed, if and when I come back to the States, maybe we've got a rain check and we can sort something out. Let's firstly go and take a look at Neil's O-scale Pittsburgh mainline layout. Now, Neil's layout is huge. It actually represents part of the Pennsylvania Railroad's middle division, not necessarily the Pittsburgh main line. And Neil has built just this amazing representation of the line in 3-rail O-scale. Now, a lot of the buildings are scratch built, and each of the towns represents a different era. So you've got stuff ranging from the steam era, sort of the 1920s, 30s, and then the next town will be the 40s and then the 50s and so on. It's got such an attention to detail. Now, all of the rolling stock is the kind of thing that would have been seen on the Pennsylvania Railroad's middle division throughout its time. He's got a mixture of steam and diesel, and because he's got so much room, he can basically run almost prototypical length trains. It was quite amazing to see them all in action, and these are big models. They've all got a sound system. I think the system he uses is a proprietary system by Lionel. So it's not something that it's not traditional DCC, but my God, it's effective. And I had a great time along with Andy and Dennis. We'll watch the trains go by. So I'm going to put some video up for you to enjoy. We now move on to Dennis's layout, the Pacific Central. Now, whilst not as big as Neil's layout, it's still a pretty big layout. Now, as you can see, it's a work in progress, like most layouts, but Dennis has got so many interesting things on here. A lot of big steam locos. He seems to like the Southern Pacific Steam, which I believe provides most of the motive power on the layout. But it's just so gorgeous to look at, and look at how even with a work in progress you can get an operational layout quite quickly. We spent a lot of time talking about what he's doing. I mean, he's got all the pier buildings. He's putting in a car float type thing. It's just, I mean, it's just incredible the level of detail that he's going into. So again, I'm going to put up some video and let you have a little look.
I have so much stuff that I'm worried it shouldn't be there. Because I'm thinking it's a hazard if it's in the press. I know, that's what I was thinking.
I've never seen this.
Yeah.
That's such a neat detail.
You know, there's a Jim Cabana car. I have 3 of these.
I'm thinking I should know Jim Cabana. I know the name, but I can't put it.
He was in the division. So you haven't seen the wharf being done.
I didn't know if you were done, but
So
that building is my favorite building in the whole way.
oh yeah, right. Okay, that's a good Ferguson. Yeah. So this is Jim's 16 stuff. really don't need it that clean. But it wasn't often done. One day at one of the sessions, I was go through one of the other members who's sitting next to me, but one of the girls in the back. I said, it's now time to do this. But these were all just really round cylinders. I started doing on the bottom of the top layer, and I can run it there.
Rather than leaving the wire just hanging?
Oh, one hand, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe there's little 3/8-inch tubes they use to feed faucets to the plastic.
Yeah.
Nobody uses those anymore, but put something rigid between these.
Well, if you look.
Now we're moving on to the operating session, Andy's layout. You can see the guys. There's a great group of guys that all get together. Andy's model railway space is just amazing. It is like everything in the States. It's huge. I was lucky enough to be paired up with Ron Bone. He basically looked after me. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. There's Bob Dengler. He was dispatcher for the day. You've got various of the guys around the layout, each one of them controlling a train, normally working in pairs. So you've got a driver and a conductor. Now, Andy's layout, and I say Andy's layout, this is the work of Andy and his son Charlie. Charlie was running around like a lunatic, basically making sure that everything was running smoothly and everything was running correctly. And then he had me in the mix who didn't know what he was doing. Anyhow, I'm going to put on some film. As you might have guessed, I was so busy playing trains that I just didn't have a chance to record anything. But luckily, Andy took loads of photos. So thanks to Andy for that. And he sent me some stock footage to show you. Looking good, Dave. Looking good.
Well, let's find out how much room we really got. So we'll cut them, we'll cut them. Put on a pull. Check this out, Andy. Got the thumbs out. Photo lines before company business.
CATI, Pittsburgh East. Medium approach, city contact. Medium approach, help out. I got that.
17301, 11265, yep. 528, right, and 013.
I absolutely loved seeing the layouts, and my mind has been blown by the operating session that I had on Andy and Charlie's layout. I mean, you know, when you look at Brooklyn Park is very small. I mean, you know, I could potentially have one other person in here with me operating it, but even that would be a little bit crowded. Again, I would like to give a big thank you to Ron, who without him, I don't think I either could or would have been able to enjoy myself. I had a great time. Hopefully, if and when I come back, by the time I come back, I will have learned how to use car cards. I'm going to source something. I believe that some people I know have got some kind of templates that I could use, and I'm going to learn how to use it using Brooklyn Park as a basis. So you never know, there might come a video about using car cards, which I think would be quite interesting to my UK viewers. So that's it for this installment. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please consider giving it a thumbs up, because that kind of raises the profile of the channel on YouTube and hopefully means that other people will be able to discover it. Similarly, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free and it will just help grow my presence. And when you do subscribe, a little bell's going to come up. Click it, press all, and you will be notified of all of my videos as and when they're released. If you have any comments or questions, you can either post them below or you can email me directly on this email address that's coming across the screen right here. I'm also available on all of these social media sites, so feel free to go on, subscribe. I don't think I actually, no, not subscribe. Was it friend, follow, all of that kind of thing. Yes, I know I don't post as much on Blue Sky. I say that at every video, but I'm trying to get better at it. You can also message me through all of these social media sites. Now, YouTube is going to suggest a video for you to watch shortly. It's going to come just down here. If you haven't seen it already, go and take a look. If you have seen it, then why don't you go over to my channel? There are hundreds of videos for you to choose from, and I'm sure you'll find something that you'll really like there. But that's it for this video. Again, I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I'm saying goodbye from my model railroad room. Bye bye.